saying on stream that he hates the champion.
Well, there you have
so
it.
this is the one potential hole in Echo Fox's. Otherwise, I feel like impossible to beat Blue Side is if they don't play Skarner. They're wasting a ban there, and then
they watched our segment. They saw that Sion pick.
That Sion pick countered you.
They saw it in the first rotation. They're like, damn, that looks annoying.
Get it out of here.
Yep. Zoe GP in their last ban, I think, should be Azir unless Pobelter's feeling really frisky against Phoenix's Azir.
Okay.
Right, and so I had Echo Fox banning Galio and Ryze. They're not doing either of those.
This ban is actually really curious to me. But the thing is, Echo Fox holds all of the cards in this scenario. They get to dictate the pace of this draft because, as I mentioned, Team Liquid was handcuffed. Those are the exact same bans I had because I don't think you have any other choice.
Right. Yeah, you didn't have an option in that case. You basically knew what the 3 bans you're going to throw out is. Mark, your situation was more difficult because you could choose one of, X number of paths.
Right, and what I was looking for was limiting some of Team Liquid's playmaking from the mid lane because Phoenix doesn't get out lane and roam super well. So I was like, all right, I don't want to play against that Galio, but it seems like Echo Fox right now not as concerned about that. They go for the Sejuani first pick, which was what I did as well, given that you have the Skarner banned out, but we have more power picks banned away. So it was easier to pick the Sejuani from you here.
You're not giving up as much.
Yeah,
right,
so
I'm not giving up as much, but you...
In my draft prep, I was actually planning on going with Galio Camille if it was available.
Okay, so that is technically available here.
And you don't need to have it all here right away. There's also the fact that Sion is no longer available as that safe Gnar counter afterwards. So
there's your Galio.
That's why Mark banned it, I think, as well, because Team Liquid's going to take it right away.
The only question is...
That's what I was going to do.
Yes.
So that was the plan. Mark was able to foil it to some degree with his ban.
Right, and one of the things was I wasn't concerned about the Camille if it was just by itself. I trust Huni to take whatever counter pick he thinks exists into it, or just taking the matchup with the Gnar. But I would not want to do that with the Galio because it makes the 1v1 that is normally kind of skilly a lot less skilly with the Galio coming in.
Do you take his top laner here, though? Because that could technically be an Xmithie Camille of all things, right?
I would expect not. They might go for Fiora flex because this is apparently what they love doing. I took Fiora off.
What are you flexing?
I didn't even put Fiora on my priority. I didn't put it on my mid list. I was like, I am not picking that. All right, great.
Can't confirm. Actually, it's not even on your top lane list either.
Yeah,
you're like just keep this pick away.
No, Fiora should be on my top lane list, but there's so many things at some point.
There were enough others.
I had Yasuo, Lucian, Alawi, Pantheon. I was like, you know what? There's just any
Kha'Zix.
Yeah. So this is what's surprising me a little bit. I had deprioritized the jungle pick a little bit in the draft because I wanted the bottom lane to be more important. However, a lot of these things do change when the other team is already locked into jungle and your solo lanes are set and they've already locked in their AD carry, because I don't think you can fully target ban all of DoubleLift's AD carries out as Echo Fox, so taking Kha'Zix here is actually okay.
Well, so what was interesting too is Tristana wasn't banned in my game, and I didn't want to play the Kalista into Varus. So I didn't take Kalista, I took Tristana instead, but Kalista is Echo Fox's highest priority AD carry. It's very self-sufficient, so you would expect double AD carry bans here is what I would think. I think they'll go Varus as well.
And at this point, the draft has changed so much because it's a ripple effect, right?
No, I'm holding you 100% accountable.
So the solo lanes are different, and at this point, it becomes a really interesting question for TL since they need to pick their whole bottom lane, and Echo Fox still can save that solo lane pick. So there's so many things they can play into Camille. I'm expecting Vladimir from Huni into the Camille, but he has a ton of counter picks. I thought about Pantheon was a possibility. There's a lot of weird things he can play.
The concern if you go with the Vlad is you end up very AP heavy. Interesting, like Echo Fox banning the Xayah of trying to avoid the Xayah Rakan lane. It's interesting because one of the things about DoubleLift that people have been very critical of him is that he has a very quote-unquote limited champion pool. Not like he's bad, but he has like an effective champion pool where if Lucian's meta, I'm picking Lucian every game. If I can get Tristana, I'm taking Tristana every game.
That's one of his weird picks. And the Shen, which I banned in phase 2 of our draft because it's one of the most banned champions against Echo Fox. We'll see if they end up going with it.
Yasuo into Camille?
Yeah, that's an interesting one.
Do we even know how that matchup goes?
He plays it a lot in solo queue when he does. I saw 1 win, 1 loss.
It's confusing to me.
There's that Varus you're scared of.
Yeah, so Varus would be the obvious pick for AD carry from here on. But what's interesting with the Yasuo is its win wall doesn't stop really anything of the Camille Galio combo other than the Winds of War, which is at that point, if you're getting comboed, you're already dead. So this is not very effective versus anything he's going to be facing on the top side of the map. So it's interesting to me.
So comps are locked in. I now want to get your guys' assessment of these comps in isolation from your mock draft. Let's move away from the mock draft. We've arrived at the comps as we see on screen here. Who won?
I think TL won.
I think I like TL better as well.
Why?
just because the Galio Camille is very strong, the Yasuo is, as far as I'm aware, not a great counter matchup into the Camille. And then your bot lane is very strong. I was scared of that Varus into Kalista, which is kind of what Team Liquid got here. So they've got a lot of strong things.
Yeah, the worry for me is that Echo Fox's laners are going to be too good.
Yeah.
Like if the Kalista smashes, if the Ryze gets pressure, they're going to be able to snowball and win that game very quickly. If that doesn't happen, I think TL can win with Galio Camille.
So you think we go to team fights even in gold and TL comes away with it?
I'm more concerned of laning kind of getting smashed. Like, if the Galio gets onto the map and starts affecting dives in the bot lane, dives in the top side, and then you're not going to the game even, I feel a little bit better for Echo Fox, but not too much.
Now, before we get in the game, now that we've seen pick ban come all the way through, I am going to give you guys a once-in-a-lifetime, no, once-in-a-day opportunity.
I get to flip-flop?
You can flip-flop if you want to flip-flop on your predictions from the top of the day.
Mark, are you flip-flopping your own 2 and flip-flop?
You go first.
I'm flip-flopping. I actually love that Team Liquid.
Chat is going to flip-flop. He is going to call Team Liquid, and Mark is holding strong with Fox Coin. There you have it. That's actually very interesting that you're going to go for that, Chat. I mean, you're putting a lot of weight behind
If I knew the Yasuo Camille matchup more, certainly, then I would potentially flip-flop.
All right, well, as we load onto the Rift, it's time to hand it back over to Riv and Zirene to call the game.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. We are into game 3 of the day to see if it is going to be a 10-2 Echo Fox or an 8-4 Team Liquid after a victory here on the Rift. And both teams, we see it a little flip-flop beyond the desk there as Team Liquid kind of coming out pretty strong in that pick ban.
Yeah, and after that pick ban and that flip-flop, I got to ask the question that's on everybody's mind. Will the PA Joel go 3-0 at the start of the day?
Oh my word, will
he beat out the analysts?
I don't know, man.
That's what makes me really excited about this. But in all seriousness, though, this is the first place team versus the third place team here, tied for third with Team Liquid. And Team Liquid actually drafted the same 3 champions in top, jungle, and mid as TSM did yesterday versus Echo Fox. And TSM beat Echo Fox. They smashed them by using Galio, which I think is such a great pick against Echo Fox's style this split, where they love to skirmish. And the Galio will almost guarantee that those skirmishes get lopsided right in the middle of it. So Echo Fox, the style that they're used to, may not be what works out here.
Yeah, they were also playing that against TSM's blue side. So that was Bjergsen coming from Galio blue. Now TL get to play that from the red side. So they get to mix it up, mix and match.
Invade on the top side, look at that. They actually went around the vision. Huni and Dardoch invaded and they're taking the red. Interesting that they're going for this aggressive top side, and this might be to split and have the jungle for Dardoch be the top and the top quadrants instead of going on the bottom side. So this allows him to get that Yasuo in a 1v1. And in the pregame lobby, we were looking at the chat, and Huni said, nobody come top. World finalists only.
2013 versus 2017.
So we'll see if it's a gentleman's duel in the top lane, and if they respect that.
That was pretty funny. I wondered if they would bring it up, and it was actually Huni to say, hey, we're going to play this World Championship, man. And we'll see how they do in that matchup. So we'll see if also Dardoch can put a little bit of pressure on that, or they're just kind of setting up the ring to say nobody can come up here. Nobody. Bot lane has that Kalista, Tahm, Kench. Very hard for Olleh to really get anything to stick in this lane. Adrian can just save his AD carry right now. Just a hail of arrows from DoubleLift over and over again to keep that pushed a little bit in their favor as he cleans up the last few waves to keep it even. No real pressure towards either side, and they kind of go back to even jungling as they head back to the Raptors and scuttle towards top here for Xmithie.
Yeah, but Xmithie gets that top side. TP from Altec already, so he actually Summoner Spellbook swapped it out. They did see the Kha'Zix on top side. Huni has to back up here. Will he win wall? Nope. Jumps through.
Gets the flash, a few stops. Void Spikes are going to slow him down, but the minions, he can slalom through on the turret. Only a few shots. Huni gets out alive. The flash is blown, but also impacts. And Xmithie's, they may be able to repeat a gank on that one. Taunted in. Pobelter, another Winds of War to keep Fenix down just a little bit in mid as they share the same mana pool.
Yeah, they both have that Summoner Spellbook and Cleanse currently. May back and swap it out for Teleport. You can see Huni goes to the top side. And now Dardoch has been able to go through his bottom side. So Dardoch went for 3 quadrants instead of just 2, and that left Huni vulnerable on the top side. And they found that window where he just had to use his teleport to get back. And in this matchup, I've actually played this one a few times because I spammed Camille a whole bunch, and I probably, am not the best Camille, and the Yasuos are usually one tricks. But Yasuo will win this matchup And there's a fun little interaction where he can actually win wall your hook shot and it dissolves it completely. So if you hook shot to a wall or he's on top of you and you try to hook shot away and he places the win wall, it actually just deletes the ability.
Ouch. You become the projectile.
Yeah.
And then you are shut down. There's a few things that play weird to that, but it's always good to know the situation or matchup you're up against because that can take you off guard very big. Impact should know that interaction. We'll see if it comes time. He hasn't really tried to get in these early levels. Bot lane now pushed back towards Echo Fox. Seems to be pretty even farming here as they're just kind of going turret to turret back and forth without too much engaging.
Yeah, and we'll see how much these junglers are doing in terms of monitoring each other. It's just been kind of trading sides of the map, but not fully for Team Liquid. I feel like Dardoch did get a bit of a better clear there. He's level 4, as you can see.
Saw him.
And he has one buff still ticking on him, as well as boots. So he does have an advantage over Xmithie. So he gets to kind of force him out of the jungle, clear these wards, and then he'll kind of get him back and put wards with the Tracker's Knife in his bottom side, so that he'll be able to track him on that area. It actually looks like he's not going to commit for it, so doesn't go in. Just goes for some shallow wards in the river.
It's interesting, too, because they just knew Pobelter went up and he didn't try to get himself deeper. They have an idea in mind of what to do. Seems like very, very calm in the early game is what that idea is so far. As they stay on their own side of the map for the time being. Xmithie up to his wolves as he get a quick push in still from top lane. 42 to 30 there as Impact is definitely taking a little bit of a hit here. Still cleaning up those minions in front of the turret, so it doesn't look as bad as it actually is. Or isn't as bad, I should say, as it looks. 8.6 to 8.3. Just a few hits on that minion wave towards the top side and plays around the map. Dardoch now with bot side clear after Raptors might find a little bit of focus towards the mid lane as his hands will be clear. TP back in from Impact here. Now kind of gives you an idea of how these the lane will play out as they'll be there for a bit of time now.
Yeah, the Sheen helping him out a lot, and we'll see what Huni goes. Triple Doran's Blade, okay. This is the old Rengar special in top lane. This is the I want to win the lane. We made it so like things like Galio can't stack, you know, the Doran's Ring and have success, but nothing happened to Doran's Blade. So he just keeps stacking some HP, some lifesteal. He also has Overheal, and he also has Ravenous Hunter and Taste of Blood. So Huni has a lot of ways to just get HP back and kind of force this 1v1. And I also started looking at some of these precision keystones, or I guess runes, later in the tree, because mostly it was people are taking coup de grace every single time. Huni has Last Stand, which gives you more damage the lower you are. So it feels like he's going to start trying to go for those later trades where they're 50%, you're 40%, and you'll try to sustain out.
It kind of feels like your bread and butter.
Exactly, but hold on, top lane. Actually, Dardoch is searching for Xmithie, but Xmithie is already in position.
Oh, Huni took the close dash. He put himself distance in the lane, and now Xmithie's just looking for a quick hit to get himself some damage. Huni finding those attacks. That's where the coup de grace comes in to get a little bit more, but not enough. First blood going over to Xmithie as they get Impact a little help.
And you can see Dardoch, maybe he could have gone up to the top side, but the Galio is going to make it up there first. And that's why I think the Galio just shuts down Echo Fox's team and the way that they like to play, not just from a compositional standpoint, but from a stylistic standpoint. I feel like it's such a good pick. And the fact that it didn't go banned here is very questionable because they lost against it yesterday. And one day is not a lot of time to make huge adjustments to the way that your team plays. And this here, yeah, it's great from Xmithie because Xmithie, as a Kha'Zix, you'd want to do your red and then go gank. And Dardoch is kind of looking for that here. Hangs out by the red, but Xmithie is already topside. And Huni's just like, you broke the gentleman's agreement, Xmithie.
You're supposed to stay out of the champion's lane. Not this time. I'm going to get that one going. Impact going to be able to make just those plays as this game gets going. 8 minutes in, that is a nice push towards Huni, so he'll be able to do whatever he really wants with that wave. Kind of cleared it out himself, though, so towards the middle of the lane, you can see him farming it out now. He wants to keep it pretty even. Fenix clearing out the mid waves as we get stopwatches coming up now, and blue buff transfer over to Pobelter.
Yep, Pobelter will pick that one up. The Galio with 2 Doran's rings. And Olleh holding the minion wave. He's going to take Portal combat. Fighting over if he can hold the minion wave or not. It's about the extent of the excitement you get as a early game support.
Man, that's got to feel good. 8.5 quest finish there for Adrian.
It's actually
that is really good. He was up on the turret pretty hard in that case, or at least just getting some tongue lashes.
Bandit, yeah. Bandit passive will help you out a lot, especially with Glacial Augment. If you get that first auto and you start chasing them down, it feels really good.
Olleh still got quite a bit of time to go. Not much, but he'll have his quest, obviously, before they get out of lane. That just means a little bit more vision for Echo Fox on the bottom side of the map as Huni walks over a bit of that himself.
Yeah,
Invasion for Dardoch.
I want to take
top side.
A quick second to talk about some of these interesting runes that we're seeing here, because the Taste of Blood for Huni is going to help him sustain. He also has the Last Stand, which gives you more damage the lower you are. Then there's some other unique choices here. For example, Olleh has the Hextech Flash Traption, so the Alistar will be able to make flash plays even when it's down.
Always annoying.
And then, like I said, with Coup de Grace being kind of the default precision bottom tier rune, or the bottom tree rune, DoubleLift has cut down. See here, Impact probably get away? Yeah, he gets away.
Doing a bit of Hasuki.
But yeah, DoubleLift has cut down, and cut down's the one that gives you more damage to people who have more HP than you.
Right.
So he's saying this Yasuo, Sejuani, Ryze, they're all going to get a little bit more HP than me, and so he's looking for that permanent kind of damage increase against certain champions, as opposed to the conditional ones of they need to be at this amount of HP for me to get bonus damage.
So as throwing a bit of love out to Huni, and I kind of...
Is that love?
I feel like he's disrespecting his opponents. I mean, like, this guy's playing good, he can do a lot, but that disrespect can come back to bite you sometime as well. If you get a little aggressive, you play a little too hard, or if your lane's not warded correctly, you might get ganked in the early game for first blood. Yeah,
Huni does apply a lot of pressure.
Right.
And right now, Xmithie is going to run up to the top side. And yeah, the pressure sponge is online. Huni did have a good game yesterday. Despite the rest of his team, you know, 0-3, 1-5, 0-4, 0-3. Those are the kills and deaths for the 4 other members on his team. He was 6-3. He was still trying to do work on that Vladimir. And they really couldn't get any other part of the composition going, so it really wouldn't work. But here, is it the Thunderdome time? Is it time for the Camille ulti into Galio?
Can Huni get out of everything? We'll find out right now in this episode of Top Dive. Huni goes down.
Looking for impact
Still almost. A little bit more. They get themselves in. Fenix and Dardoch weren't able to get the last bit of distance to get the damage. We saw there onto Impact. He gets out with a flash. Bot lane gets a few hits here. Oh, nice cleanse by Altec coming out of the Chain of Corruption instantly, and a quick lick from Adrian disengages that.
Yep, Summoner Spellbook, he's already used it to TP and swapped it to cleanse right before the level 6s came out, so able to cleanse that one away.
Man.
Yep, seeing this one coming a mile away, saw the Galio from Champion Select as well. The Thunderdome, there's no escaping that for Huni.
Flash out. Not enough retaliation as Echo Fox. They read it as well, but you can't read it at that speed that Galio moves. Pobelter was already on the way.
Gotta start up in that reading level.
Got up the read level, man. Those are the IQs. We know Pobelter has that. 12 minutes in. Bot lane looks to reset here as they get some nice vision on the bot side. Both playing towards that right wall, though, to make sure they don't get caught up in anything too tricky. Xmithie just on the bot will be seen by a ward. And they may think, yeah, with that HP, we could get them into a fight they may not want, just not under the turret. We'll see how they play it.
Is he going to take the cone right into Dardoch?
That's what I was thinking.
It'll be interesting, though, because he'll hit a bush, and he might stealth when he hits it. So it could be pretty funny.
But he catches him in the air with Glacial Prison, but it's down.
Yeah, it's down right now.
Oh, he's going to back. Oh, well. Thought there might have been a caster curse. We're going to get damage on the turret, and now Dardoch will show. Actually, a good show as well. I thought the rotation from Fenix was coming down for a moment there, but they are going to slow it down. They don't have enough vision on the backside of the map. Dardoch will get that now to make sure if they do engage, it will be safe.
They just spotted him, and that means that you're going to have Xmithie on the top side clearing his rafters, clearing his red with no issue here, and possibly revisiting top side because it's just been where he really wants to be around.
Nice dodge. Get out of that initial Shelly damage. Looks like he's going to be soloing out Rift Herald here. So Fox is going to take that control towards the bot side, not knowing Rift Herald be at one of their turrets quite soon. Impact rotates down as he gets the turret push. So they're going to take this quite fast without the knowledge of Echo Fox here. Both teams have a few things on their plate they're able to work off of. TL kind of looking down the road as Fox gets their turrets now.
Fox, yeah, they got that bottom turret, so maybe they lane swap it. But the Mountain Drake is still up, so I actually expect Echo Fox to go back to the regular lane assignments that they were just in and go back down to bottom with their dual lane and try to get that Mountain Drake, which would then help them get turrets, get the Baron later on. So that's what I would expect here. And I like that Huni backs up and starts pushing Xmithie out of the jungle, getting Dardoch's camps.
Look at this, just coming up on that 15-minute CSD for our top laners. Really no discrepancy there. Huni's coming back to lane, so he'll clean those up. Exactly what you would expect from these two, even with a bit of jungler intervention.
Looking for DoubleLift.
Abyssal Voyage. They come out of the ground into DoubleLift's life. He is not going to have fun here.
Galio
through. Pobelter just on the side to enter into the fight. Quick devour to get it up. Fate's call back in. Then they spit out Dardoch. You're just popping out of the woodwork right now. And that's going to be enough to lock him down. We find Olleh on the ground. Now they're going to get the last breath over onto Pobelter. He entered the fight thinking it was their initiation, and he leaves the fight, being Echo Fox's kill.
Beautiful turnaround there from Echo Fox. They were able to find that Galio ultimate down and get out. It looked like Olleh dropped the ball there. We'll have to see it again with his headbutt pulverized. It looked like Adrian was able to escape because of that.
What a turn of events. A little bit of vision there early for Echo Fox allows them to skirt around the initial parts of that fight. And again, we talked about that Tahm Kench. Denied a lot of damage in that fight. Back and forth, Fate's Call and Tahm Kench denied and made two people invulnerable. Pretty disgusting as they now go for Dragon.
Yep, pick up that Mountain Drake. They made that play on the bottom side. Looks like they'll just lose that Wolf Camp. And Fenix, he's doing the blue. Xmithie is here.
Phoenix sandwich?
Ah, Xmithie's just going to smite it away.
Thank you.
And TY for leash. Let's see this one more time. Because they go on to DoubleLift with the Abyssal Voyage. He goes off to the side.
It's awfully quiet down here.
Yeah. Lands the root on Adrian. Adrian flashes over, and right here, the headbutt does knock Adrian out. And then Impact goes in, and it looks like there was a fizzle there on his ultimate. So he went after the target that Adrian ended up eating, I believe. It was either the Fate's Call or it was Adrian getting the Devour there. It was very hard to tell in that moment who exactly his target was, but then they're just able to clean up immediately afterwards.
That last second flicker of a play where it fizzles out and everybody's one step too deep into a fight. It's kind of the hardest thing to come back from or disengage once you've done that. And we see Echo Fox take quite a big advantage from that.
Yeah, watch it one more time. That was the nesting doll.
No, yeah, it was Fate's Call and Devour.
Yeah.
Two invulnerabilities.
I had no idea which person he targeted because Adrian ate Dardoch and then Altec pulled in Adrian. So there were three people inside of that Kalista.
It was pretty cool.
Two people inside, so there were three all at once.
That's why you don't even know. Where are they coming from?
That's
Where are they going to go?
stuff right there.
How has it happened? Nobody knows. We just saw it happen. We still don't. For 17 minutes on the clock, 2K gold lead after that fight in the bot side here for Echo Fox as they start encroaching those wards a little bit deeper to keep the plays coming.
Oh, still looking for plays onto Huni. The TP is trying to reinforce, but...
Boom! They finish it? They're going to finish it. Oh, the Abyssal Voyage was right under the feet of Xmithie. Flashes out, finds the team on the top side. Olleh trying to keep Dardoch at bay. Do they initiate a fight on that? Dardoch gets himself into a safe spot as they are just changing sides, saying, Ali Oxenfree, who's safe to come over? Pobelter goes over, and he's got to get back to his team. Now it's Olleh to get himself in the fight. Adrian gets the stopwatch down. Phoenix trying to deliver damage over the wall. He knows he's going down in the trade, but he wants to kill. Pobelter now a sliver of health, rended down as Dardoch and Altec stand with Adrian at the end of the fight.
This is my kind of game, Riv. This has so much action in it, and it's coming down to mechanics and split-second decisions there in these fights. Because Huni is the one who gets engaged on, but it's the collapse from the rest of the team that turns it around. The teleport, that looks like this will be one that's canceled. No, everybody is on the same page here with Altec and Adrian coming in, and Dardoch with the flank. So Xmithie flashes, goes through the bush, and then they all get out of the Galio ultimate. It looked like it might have been better there on Impact to get multiple people, but it's these split-second decisions as Pobelter is deep in the team, and he just starts having spears stacked up in him. Adrian's stopwatch comes out, gets away, and then Fenix says, I have enough damage here with the prepped E onto DoubleLift. He flashes after him and finishes him off, and that ends up being a 3 for 2, I believe, in favor of Echo Fox, just barely.
Super hectic. over-the-wall fights requiring quite a bit of vision as well. You see the damage there of Altec being able to stand on that backside. Safety of a Ryze rushing forward. A Sejuani and a Tahm Kench basically peel them off of you. Still anybody's fight here. That was just kind of one way we see these fights go. If that Pobelter ult hits, as you said, on impact, I think it's much different.
Yeah. And that's all it takes is one button press on a different person, especially with these big, like, macro ultimates where you throw it down, it has such a large effect. That one button press does mean a whole lot here, where he threw it down onto Xmithie to protect him from being jumped on, but he was already out of the fight, and impact had just gone in simultaneously.
A little bit of love for red buff as Echo Fox is now able to start denying resources.
Huni's red buff. He's a little bit behind in terms of level, but he does need to catch up there.
Just help him kind of keep at bay in a split push.
We'll check his gold really quickly. He's actually pretty much even in gold. He's down by like 100, which is pretty much nothing. But he has invested into Doran's blades, which he will have to sell come third item.
It's so good. You know, whenever I see that, I imagine like taping them together, kind of like you'd put a straw inside a straw. Make longer straws. You got like 3 blades glued together, not going to do as much damage, but when you get teammates up there, they are able to drop things very fast.
Things on the Baron, 20 minutes. Baron just spawned. They killed Xmithie. They killed the Smite.
Yep.
They're saying, all right, it's time to go. They lost the damage dealer.
All right. Fight on a Phoenix. Impact get a huge teleport top play. Never mind. He just went down in HP. I figured that was going to go in his favor.
Still on it.
And they are going to continue. They got the damage of Altec. They're going to be rendered out with the Smite. Easy peasy here for Echo Fox. 30 seconds after it spawned, they take down Baron.
Echo Fox, we use Baron power play to talk about the gold that you get from a Baron. Echo Fox actually just make Baron power plays at 20 minutes constantly, and they try to go for it very consistently. TSM was onto it yesterday, but TL, with Xmithie getting caught top lane off that collapse and trying to pick on Huni more, they're able to get that Baron right as it spawns, 20 minutes.
Huni's been getting delivered minions too. This is still a lane. There's still turrets on the top side, so that means they just keep coming in quick off of those turrets as his get pushed down. Got his Phantom Dancer going, 193 to 173 but he's been able to hang out, and the rest of the team is just having fun around the map. Said, Huni, do your thing. We can take these fights. A 4-1-1 Phoenix now getting quite big, and a change for him from yesterday on a Fiora game. He tried to kind of go outside the box for himself.
Yeah, it was definitely his worst game of the split so far. That Fiora was not very convincing, and they were talking about his champion pool desk being possibly limited, but hold on, Adrian.
Gray health already used quite early to keep the fight going, but now he's got enough teammates where it'll work. Hero's entrance comes in. Nice Fate's call to get him out. Bounce back in! And the bounce house begins. It's going to be down on the right side. Olleh and DoubleLift try to focus down one. Adrian just flashes himself out. How are they still alive? Intense back and forth from Echo Fox. That was sick.
That's a clean ace for Echo Fox. 5-4-0, and they're going to start pushing the base.
Absolutely disgusting positioning back and forth. The slivers of health asking, just baiting TL to go a little bit further in these fights, and Echo Fox makes quick work of another one, teleporting themselves and the minions forward. They're onto the Nexus turrets, and Echo Fox looking to get the win 22 minutes in, now on the second turret, and it looks like with 4 seconds left, TL will have nothing to say about the Nexus. Dardoch puts himself in front, and the quick Orange Fox jumps over the Nexus. Echo Fox takes down Team Liquid.
Team Liquid have those 3 fastest game of the split record. Echo Fox says, hold my beer. 22 minutes and 45 seconds on the clock. That is a 2018 spring NALCS record.
Absolutely ridiculous. And you kind of see what Echo Fox has ready. They didn't think the game was going to end, but the possibility was there for them. All they did was take down Xmithie. Xmithie, not completely his fault. Somebody got caught. It happens. But that led to that Baron. There were more that happened after the Baron, but what a consecutive set of plays so quickly at 20 minutes and 38 seconds into the game.
It's a barrage, and if you can't keep up with it from Echo Fox, they are just going to shut you down. That was so fast in terms of closing the game. People talk about 8.3 long games. Echo Fox, no, that's not the case here.
Rick Fox showing love every week, every day, talks about his team and talks them up to the moon, and that's the way they've been playing. Echo Fox now 10-2 in the spring split here as they are completely making waves. And the matchup for Huni versus Impact, he's got to be happy about that.
Yeah, I mean, 1, 3, and 5. He'll be happy about the win. But the rest of the team
very good
really
context,
did
good
step
context.
up. Like, that last team fight was really sick to watch it over again, because the Galio had Echo Fox fans worried at the start because they had lost against it yesterday when TSM had it. And then at that start of the game, it looked like the Galio was going to start getting the best of Echo Fox again. And that time, they were able to skirt around it. Altec pulling Adrian back out, throwing him in at the right time and skirting that fight perfectly. Like, that was a very well-orchestrated fight.
And in the slight misstep of Olleh headbutting out of that would have been the Tahm Kench knocked up in the hero's entrance, him going down before you get the nesting doll play with the Fate's Call into the Devourer. So a lot of things change with that one play. You can always say that, but we visualize it right there.
It's a Jenga, right? One thing happens, boom, it's all going to come collapsing down. And if you were able to just have that block in there, then you're good to go if you had just gone for something a little bit different. And Echo Fox, though, 10-2. And, hey, Joel, he's 3-0 so far, I think.
Doing great.
PA going to go 5-0 on the day?
We'll have to see. There's still 2 more games to go. But right now, we're going to send it down to Avali and Echo Fox's Realm Warper in the mid lane.
Thanks, guys. I'm here with Fenix and Joanne, our lovely translator for today. Beating Liquid at their own game, you guys had the fastest game so far. How confident were you coming into this game?
I never thought we're gonna lose against Liquid because we already beat them easily, and that's my former team, and I really don't lose against my former team. And they picked, I mean, I won against Liquid. That's feeling super good, and they picked Galio, which is they should make play. Yesterday, we against Galio, and I picked Fiora. That was good pick in Scream, because in Scream, that goes really well, but in stage, a lot different. But I think since they picked Galio, I feel like we're gonna win this game, because they want to fight, right? And I thought if we just fight with them, we're gonna lose, we're gonna win whatever Wari pick, so I felt pretty good.
I'm glad you're feeling good. This is actually the first time that I've gotten to speak with you in the split so far. You're on a new org with a new team, and you're playing with Dardoch again. How are you enjoying playing on Echo Fox so far?
Everyone know we are throwing, we have little throwing, but that means we are funny team and we are aggressive team. So I hope you guys enjoying watching our game. And Dardoch is I really love playing with him because he is super aggressive and I'm super aggressive too. So our synergy is really goes well. So I like it.
And I want to pick your brain a little bit. We just had patch 8.4 come in this week. There's a lot of mid-lane changes. What are your overall thoughts on the patch so far?
Actually, I don't know where, because when I see this patch note, I got headache a lot because item is super changed. So actually, I don't know yet, but it's pretty good because if always same meta is you feel boring. So this is good patch, I think.
Is there anything you're excited for or maybe you want to see?
I love to see more assassins. So Starwatch got getting nerfed, so I hope players gonna play assassins.
Well, congratulations again on your win, and thank you so much. And for more on this game, let's hear from the State Farm Analyst Desk.
Thank you very much, Avali. Great to hear from Fenix there in his, or rather, following the victory. That was the word I was looking for. Following shouldn't be that hard of a word to find.
I just actually am so happy to see Fenix back in the LCS and doing well, because he was such like a joyful, like goofy guy when we first got him on Team Liquid. He was so funny, and then like over the course of the career that he had on Team Liquid, as Team Liquid kind of fell off, he, like, you could see went through some tough times to the point where, like, in that gauntlet run that they had at the end of Season 6 where he had, like, Jinth and Arc second on his team, he had, like, that outburst where he was like, who am I even playing with anymore? Like, who have you put around me? Like, what do you want me to do? I can't carry 5 people. And then after that, he dipped into the challenger scene. I felt like he didn't get a fair shake. So personally for me, as a, coach formerly of Phoenix and someone who just likes his personality. It's good to see him on a good team that's winning and with other people who bring him up, like Huni, who's probably just such a positive influence for him.
Right, we have top of the day. Both of you had him top 3 on the mid lane tier list. They pick up another victory here. Let's take a look at how they did it. We've talked plenty about the draft as we got to do it before the game, but I wanted to get some concise win conditions from the two of you, given the comps as they were drafted. So let's talk about these real quick.
Yeah, so I have immediate regret. About 5 minutes into that game, I was like, I'm starting to second guess the flip-flop. I still kind of like Team Liquid's draft because they just didn't reach 20 minutes with even gold. They got completely blasted. The bottom lane lost. Even though they were camping Huni, they never denied him any CS, so they weren't really putting him that far down in gold. And they never really had map pressure, so Echo Fox completely outplayed them through and through.
It's, you know, kind of similar to mine. I didn't want the Galio to influence the side lanes because you should be winning a lot of these matchups on their own, and they generated big CS leads, and then the bot lane took the turret by itself. So it worked out pretty well to Echo Fox's win conditions, but it was very scary and was not like Jat said, like I saw those drafts and I was like, oh God, this looks suspect.
Pretty well's one way to
never
put it.
flip
I mean, 3.6K gold lead at 20 minutes. So Jat, that's
over 2 minutes later.
That's your win condition there, right? I mean, and then the game ended 2.5 minutes after that.
Yeah, that's crazy to go from a 3K gold lead to ending the game. That generally doesn't happen that early. So that just speaks to how aggressive Echo Fox plays.
But you have to get to that gold lead, right? Yeah. I mean, that's the onus is on Echo Fox to start mounting that lead. Let's take a look at a couple replays. The first one in the bot lane. Some interesting interactions here in terms of the mechanics with Tahm, Kench, and Fate's Call.
Yeah, already broke the bot lane turret. DoubleLift kind of overextended down the bot lane wanting to get to CS, leads to this crazy kind of hectic fight. And because there's so many defensive tools on this team comp that you don't think about, the Devour, the Fate's Call, comboing them together to pull Dardoch out and then double re-engage was super cool to see. The teleports come in, Huni collapses as well, and like Jat said, kind of got camped pretty hard. But this is the problem with Echo Fox is if you don't shut down Huni, he will run over the game. If you do shut down Huni, their bot lane's constantly picking Kalista and winning that on its own. So it's a bit of damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Right, and Jat, you follow that with the most Echo Fox plays of all Echo Fox plays.
Boom.
A singular pick onto the opposing jungler.
Go to Baron.
Straight to the Baron. Let's get there. I mean, that is, again, what we've been looking for out of a lot of other teams beneath Echo Fox in the standings, right? We always point to this idea that you've got to be decisive and take small advantages and make them big ones.
Yeah, and this was, I think, their best game, even if Huni did die a few times to ganks, because even if we just go to the final fight, they, with the Baron, immediately didn't care about picking this fight. Adrian knows he is invincible this game.
Right.
There's a Kalista ult up at all times, and they have the patience to actually wait out a lot of things. So they wait for, I believe, the Galio ult to come in. They say, okay, Adrian, now we'll pull you out with Kalista. At that point, Kalista's already stacked a ton of spears into the rest of the fight. DoubleLift is having a hard time getting involved because there's people all around him, Phoenix in his face the entire game. They already had the big lead, but the fact that they just kind of styled on Team Liquid by walking into them and forcing them to fight, won the game.
And Huni, despite having a bit of a rough start there, had a huge influence on that team fight. He win-walled a lot of DoubleLift's damage, jumped on him, scared him out of that fight. You know, he starts drawing a lot of focus. He dips out of the fight and then comes flying back in to get a couple of the last cleanup kills. So
we also saw how difficult it was for Xmithie to get into that fight. He was dancing around the back side of that Raptor pit, having the opportunity to jump on Kalista, but he knew that as soon as he did, the Tahm Kench is going to pick him up, move him out to safety. And so very little ways for Team Liquid, once in that deficit, to maneuver within a fight and actually find a victory.
Yeah, and we've been very hesitant to call Echo Fox the best team in NA. Like, we're saying they're the best team, but
they're the number one team, right?
The mid-game throws, and maybe their drafts are questionable. And like, I actually still think that there are the mid-game throws, and sometimes the drafts are weird, and sometimes they misplay. But I'm looking at their schedule coming up. They just played C9, TSM, and Liquid in the last 3. The best teams they have left in the next 3 weeks are Clutch and 100 Thieves. This is the first place team.
That's a really good point.
I would be shocked if they don't finish the split in first place.
Right.
So they're really good, and they're better than all the other teams based on the record.
And I like this game also because it's a good bounce-back game from yesterday where, like, they had this weird draft. Everyone was playing bad but Huni, and it really showed. And then this time, it's like, okay, Huni gets hard camp, but we're playing well this time, and we can support him and kind of say, sorry for yesterday, but we'll carry you today.
Right, it's nice to look at an Echo Fox game and not call it the Huni show, right? They found another way to victory even when he wasn't performing too top tier. Of course, there was a lot of focus in the top lane, and it's volatile when you got Yasuo versus Camille as the matchup. For Team Liquid, what's the diagnosis here? Because in a lot of ways, again, we declared that we liked the draft at the conclusion of seeing it, and so that points to misplays within the game or mismanagement of the champions around the map.
And you got to see it, right? Like the fact that Impact didn't get the good Camille ultimates off with Galio when they had opportunities. Galio was desynchronized. They actually lost the duo lane, which almost never happens for that team. Olleh messed up a headbutt pulverize in a crucial moment. Like they had a lot of individual misplays, which when Team Liquid put this roster together, they thought that would be the last thing they had to worry about. So it's a pretty bad loss for them.
All right, Team Liquid still trying to find their footing. Echo Fox picking up the victory. It's time to take a breather. When we come back, it's Counterlogic Gaming versus Golden Guardians. Game 4 is coming up after the break.